What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a Pop Punk Dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris183.
And it's everybody's favorite month. It's Newfound November. That's right. We've done 2 albums so far in Newfound November, and we skipped ahead a little bit. We'll get to that. We're going to be doing an album called Not Without a Fight this evening, and we have a special guest. Chris, I'll let you introduce her.
I do, but when you say everybody's excited, are you sure? Who's everybody?
Everybody who likes pop punk.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
I like pop punk.
You should be excited. We're here, we're recording. This is exciting. Is it not?
It's exciting to be on the show. It's exciting to record. It's exciting to be here with you. Everything else is up for debate. But yes, we did bring on a guest today, and so I think that if we're going to do this, if we're going to sit down and do this once again, and remember, Steve, clean slate. So I'm not going to just start off.
Didn't start that clean.
Yeah, but every time,
started kind of messy.
Every time we do this, once again, I have regrets about being so nice for any of the songs. So it makes me upset. So I got to work my way out of that. I got to find a way.
We'll see what happens.
We did do the right thing, though. I think this was the right thing to do today in terms of our guest, because since the beginning of this show, we've had this individual that has been one of our listeners almost from the very beginning, if not the very beginning. And this particular individual, even though I haven't always seen eye to eye, has been awesome in terms of a fan of the show, but also a self-professed super fan of Newfound Glory, probably her favorite band. I don't want to speak for her, but I'll let her speak for herself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back to the show, PunkRockMom. What's going on?
Hi, happy Newfound November. I'm so excited to be back on with you guys.
Did you ever imagine that would happen? A full month dedicated to Newfound Glory?
No, when I saw the advertisement on Instagram, I gasped out loud. I was so excited. I didn't think Chris would ever agree to this. So,
I didn't.
It's give and take.
No one said that I didn't. No one said that I agreed to it.
You certainly agreed to it. Come on. You are all for it. Before we get started, quick shout out to Nick Jones. Our Patreon members get shout outs in our episodes now. So go to patreon.com/HSNEpod and you can check it out. So thanks, Nick Jones. Anyways, I had mentioned in the Newfound, we only have 4 episodes, right? So we can't do every single Newfound Glory album. I know Chris wishes that we could. So we started at the beginning, right? We did Nothing Gold Can Stay. Then we'd already done with you, PunkRockMom. We already did with you the self-titled album. And then we went into Sticks and Stones, which is probably the most popular one. And we've done a little jumping now. So Sticks and Stones came out 2002. We skipped over Catalyst. Shit, that's a good album. We skipped over Coming Home, which some people, I was chatting with Tom Good. He said that's his favorite record. I feel like that's a hot take. I feel like maybe not everybody loved that one because it was a little more mellow. But here we are. We're 7 years from after Sticks and Stones, and we're going to talk about Not Without a Fight. And PunkRockMom, I think that we may have asked you an album that you preferred to chat about. Is there any particular reason why you chose this one?
Yes, there's lots of reasons why. I think Not Without a Fight is a very underappreciated Newfound Glory album. It's one that kind of sits in between the really, really good old stuff and the kind of okay newer stuff. It came out, what did we say, in 2009? So, not in the heyday of pop punk, but, but it's still such a good pop punk album. I don't think it gets the accolades it deserves. And also, I thought it was kind of fitting for the title, Not Without a Fight, for Chad. So Chad's my favorite member of Newfound Glory. I love Chad Gilbert. And as a lot of people know, he's going through a cancer battle right now that he's been going through for years. And so I thought this album was really appropriate for that. And also I have a copy of the vinyl, and I actually bought the vinyl off of Steve Klein, believe it or not. On Instagram years ago, he was doing some crazy Newfound Glory fire sale, getting rid of a bunch of stuff.
This was after being kicked out of the band or before?
Oh, yeah. After getting kicked out of the band.
Okay.
And so he was just kind of selling off a bunch of Newfound Glory things. And it was one of the vinyls I didn't have. And so I was able to buy it off of him. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Do you listen to vinyl or do you just collect?
I do listen to vinyl. In fact,
Okay.
I just had a birthday and my husband bought me a brand new record player and speakers and everything. So it's an awesome
how's the
little
needle
setup.
on that record player?
Sharp? I don't know.
Well, outside of the jokes, what kind of record player is it? Because I'm actually in the market.
It's an Audio Technica.
That's a good brand.
Yeah, it's a good brand and it's a Bluetooth compatible one, but I do have wired in speakers on it now. But yeah, it's awesome. So I really love it. So yeah, I do collect a lot of vinyl. I have almost all the New Found Glory albums. But this one is a special because it did come straight from Steve. I also wanted to pick something that I thought maybe Chris might kind of like. So I wanted something a little more on the rock edge, not quite as poppy. I was kind of debating between this one and Radio Surgery, and I went with Not Without a Fight because Radio Surgery is very poppy and almost Ramones like. So, and I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but this album is full of gang vocals, and I know Steve loves some gang vocals, so that is why, after debating, I chose to do this album.
It's an interesting choice because it seems as if, I'm not going to speak for you, it seems as if you're a fan all throughout, through and through, Forever and Ever Times Infinity. Fuck, my jokes are on point tonight. Yes, that album was horrible, but anyways, for me personally, I think I've said that my like. I don't know that I would say obsession, but my like love of like the music that they are putting out on a consistent basis kind of dies down around like right now. Like, I don't know if that was a product of the times and what my life was like in 09, or if maybe I just felt like after coming home, I'd heard everything that they'd done and maybe things started to sound the same and nothing stood out as much. But for me, every single one of the records before this, I know pretty well. Like Coming Home, maybe not just as much, but I mean, the first 4 records, like by heart, eyes closed, don't have to look at, the whole 9 yards. Coming Home a little bit, but then Not Without the Fight, this comes like time where I'm like, am I still listening to New Found Glory at whatever age I'm at in 2009? And so going back and listening to this, I might not have the super fan opinions, Chris. I may have some, and you, to Punk Rock Mom's point, there were during that first episode, you definitely highlighted a couple of albums or things that you liked. So this might be the time where they're turning for you. I don't know. We'll see.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear a lot of what you said. I was looking up.
What were you doing?
I was trying to look up how many actual pick scrapes there are on this album because I feel like there might be just close to, over under 7,500 pick scrapes on this album.
Wow. I would probably say under, just,
not by much.
That's quite a large number.
There's actually 5,125 pick scrapes.
That's actually, did you find that like deep in dark Reddit or something?
I'm looking at it right now in black and white. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, wow. A lot.
Yes.
So, Elisa, you got this album like when it first came out. You're into the whole thing.
I didn't actually. I think during this time in my life, I wasn't as involved in music as I usually was. I had young kids at the time, so it kind of. I didn't get into it when it first came out. I think it was coming back to it later, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, that I listened to it again for the first time and thought, wait a minute, I really underestimated this album. And it was produced by Bark Hoppus, which is another thing I thought you guys would kind of like. And I'm interested to see if you guys hear any kind of Blink 182 influence in the music or not. But yeah, I kind of skipped it a little bit during the heyday. But I definitely came back to it, and it's one of my favorite albums from them.
I can relate to that though. I think I've skipped a lot of albums in those late 2000s, early teens that, I wish maybe I hadn't. So I get it. Bands that I really liked, I just didn't get to those albums for whatever reason. Stuff going on in life.
Yeah, so, and I think this is the biggest gap in between the albums that they have. I think the last like studio album they did that wasn't a cover, I want to say it was maybe 3 years before this. And they're usually the kind of band that's like every year or two, there's a new album that comes out.
99,
So,
2000, 02, 04, 06, and then this one's 09. Yeah.
yeah, and that could be a reason why it's kind of went unnoticed. There was 3 years with nothing, and pop punk was kind of coming downhill at that point. You weren't seeing it so mainstream anymore. So it's kind of an easy one to overlook.
It's time to get to Chris and your thoughts. Or are you looking up random things?
No.
We're not listening.
I couldn't hear you because my mic cut out. What do you want me to do here?
I was just asking your overall thoughts on the album. Everything okay with your mic? Do you want to check? 1, 2?
I'm fine. Mic check.
Okay.
Was that the joke?
You're coming through loud and clear. No, that was an honest.
I kind of don't want to give that away yet. Can I save that until we get into it song by song?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with a couple of quick stats about the album.
Wait. Okay,
yeah?
I changed my mind.
Come on.
All right.
Oh my God.
So, here's what I'll do. I'm going to tell you this, is that I did not think just going the clean slate routes like we have been doing. That's the theme of this November, is clean slate, not newfound glory. But it just seems like this album is it's actually a lot different than what we've listened to so far. And we listened to 2 albums. So right off the bat, I heard that. Right off the bat, I heard some differences in the way that Jordan sings the songs. Not every single song, but in a lot of them. Right off the bat, I hear guitars and riffs and music and melodies that are not what I've heard up to this point, that are different, that are a little bit more intricate. And if they're simplified, they sound just a little bit better. So there's a lot of stuff here that really was not in line with what I've heard so far. And it'll be interesting song by song how that translates into opinions. But I can tell you that I was definitely taken aback by this album from the get-go. And I'm excited to tell you guys about it. So let's go ahead and Steve, you can go ahead and go with your thing.
Oh, thank you. So the album came out March 10th, 2009. This is their first album that was not on Drive Thru Records. It was actually on Epitaph. It got to number 1 on the independent albums chart and 12 on the Billboard 200. So commercially, it did pretty good. Punk Rock Mom, you mentioned, it's produced by Mark Hoppus. And interesting, this album leaked 6 weeks before its debut, which caused, I guess anytime you're a band and you're putting together an album after 3 years, that's got to be a kick in the stomach to get your album leaked online. But I guess around this time that was happening. I think I watched a documentary on that. There was the place that the masters, the CDs went in, I don't know, somewhere very, very rural, and somebody was like stealing the masters and uploading them so that people could share them. It was a good documentary. I don't know what it was called. So their last album, Coming Home Before This, was kind of viewed again as like more mellow and sentimental, and people kind of felt like this maybe was a little bit more of a return to form of that kind of old school newfound glory, and we'll get to that. But funny enough, Chad, when asked in 2016 to rank his favorite newfound glory albums, Punk Rock Mom, where did he put this one? You look like you know the answer.
He put this one dead last.
I hope he'd put Forever and Ever Times Infinity after it at this point in time. But yeah, I think he said something along the lines of, they hadn't recorded a lot, and I don't know if it was like rushed, or I don't know. He just didn't feel the connection, I don't think, to some of these songs. Is that about right?
I think with the switch in record labels, he was having a lot of issues with just the industry in general. So when it came time to make this album, he kind of said he didn't put his heart into it. He didn't put everything he had into it. So he didn't have a sentimental attachment to this record.
Makes sense. And we wish Chad the best, of course.
Yes.
That's so funny. I want to tell you why, but that's so funny. Okay, fair enough. I can't believe it was last, though. Like his least favorite.
His least favorite.
And this is coming from...
no, that was in 2016. So that's out of like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 albums.
8.
Yeah.
You said this was Chad that said that, or Jordan? Who
Chad.
said that? Chad.
Jordan
Okay.
doesn't really speak other than singing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely speaks, right? He just doesn't speak outwards.
Nope, he just
Publicly.
sings and does tattoos.
Mhm.
Okay. Fair enough. What else? We haven't done the fun Spotify game because we don't want to do that yet, because I think that's probably one that we'll save towards the end of Newfound November for all of the people out there once we get through a couple more albums. So I guess, the best thing I can do here is say, do you think that there are any songs off of this album that ended up in the most streamed songs for Spotify, the top 5 most streams? Do you think there is a song that falls into the top 5 off of this album?
No, I don't think there is.
Absolutely not. No way. There's barely songs that make their live sets on this record. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe 2 songs make their live sets. So they do all these, quirky concerts where they're doing albums or this or that. So it's hard to pin down like what a regular Newfound Glory set is. But I can't think of. Can you think of more than 2, Elisa?
No, I can't. I mean, the only one I could think of right off the top was Don't Let Her Down, or Don't Let Her Get You Down. That's like the only one I can think of I've even seen live. I was thinking that as I was going through the album, like, I've seen them plenty of times live, and I can't think of any of these that I've seen. So.
I wonder. I'm going to check real quick. They have a live album, which is a fantastic live album, actually. And let's see. I'm looking at it. So they played "Don't Let Her Pull You Down," and I'm still looking.
That's
looking, and I'm at the end. That's it.
Oh,
That's it. Just the one.
Just the one from this record.
So one more discussion topic before we dive straight in is, if you don't hear them play these songs a lot when you see them live, and Chad ranks this one the worst of the worst of all of the albums, I wonder if it's because they just didn't like the way Newfound Glory sounded when you mix Newfound Glory with the darker sound, the post-hardcore vibe, just that 2009 theme that this album seems to have molded itself with. Do you think they just weren't happy with the way that sounded with their style?
I think these songs are just not as good. I think one could argue that like Catalyst, even though we didn't talk about it in depth, like Catalyst is a harder Newfound Glory album, right?
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it is. I think it's interesting too that I think, how many more albums did Chris Klein do with the band? Is this one and maybe Radio Surgery, and then he was done?
Yeah, that was what, like
So
2012?
it would be interesting to see where the band would have gone if he would have stayed in it. I think he was pretty musically talented, and I could see the influence of the rock and the hard, not only from Chad, but from him. So I don't know.
Yeah, that whole situation was a bummer. We don't need to get into it, but it was a bummer.
Yeah.
I did when stuff started to come out about like, his side of the story. I definitely read it and listened to it. And if his side of the story is reality, then that just really kind of sucks overall.
Yeah. And if you kind of listen to the music that he's producing and stuff now, like it kind of has this kind of sound to it. So,
all right. Well, are you guys ready to get into it?
Should we pick up right where we left off last time?
No, we did not. That is impossible. I know what you're doing. I don't know how we would do that. So if you have a way of doing that, Steve, why don't you go ahead and do so?
Well, listen, I've spoken many times. Newfound Glory song ones are, for the most part, pretty fucking good, right? We got Hit or Miss. We got Better Off Dead. We got Understatement. We got All Downhill From Here. I'm not including the intro track there. And then Oxygen, which a lot of people didn't like because it was poppy and it had that piano, but I really liked Oxygen. I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it. And then we get right where we left off. And, it's got that awesome guitar riff to start. We got the title of the album right in that second line. When you look at, what makes Newfound Glory songs strong to me. It's usually that pre-chorus and chorus. They usually do it really well. I think the pre-chorus is pretty weak here. The chorus is pretty good, but it's just I don't know. It's to me, it's not up to that standard of the Newfound Glory song one. Some of the lyrics seem like they're trying a little too hard. You know, I'm a wolf in sheep's skin. Teeth can tear you limb from limb. I don't have the room to spare you. I don't know. It didn't. It just seemed like it was a little bit different. So I like the song here at number one. I don't dislike it, but I think I expect so much from a Newfound Glory first song that this one didn't quite live up to the hype in my head.
How about you, Punk Rock Mom?
Well, I liked the intro of the song and you know, right where we left off, because before this album you said it was coming home, right? And that's probably one of my least favorite Newfound Glory albums. It was not well received when it came out, and so it's almost like they're saying we're going right back to where we left off. And they come in really hard, they come in really fast. This album, you know what you're getting into when you get to this album. It's going to be a fast roller coaster ride. I like the first line again. You're not getting rid of me that easy, not without a fight. I think again, bringing it back to Chad, because I can always bring it back to Chad. You know, it means a little bit more to me now to hear them sing those lines. I thought it was a great opener for the album. I mean, it's not as good as Understatement or Hit or Miss, but I thought it was a good opener with a really catchy chorus. The lyrics in a lot of this album are very, I started to use the word melodramatic, you know, just like when you were talking about wolf and sheep's skin. But, you know, to me, I love melodramatic. So I really liked it. We skipped our very first example of the gang vocals towards the end of this song. And it was for the first time because I'm, you know, of course, as I'm listening to this album, I'm thinking of Chris and what he's going to think about this. And as soon as I heard Jordan singing, I thought the same thing. I said, his voice sounds very different in this album than he does it. It's not as nasally. It's not as whiny. I thought, okay, maybe, fingers crossed, Chris will have something good to say.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that line that you can't get rid of me that easy, no, not without a fight. I mean, obviously it means something now, but that's not what it meant then. But, you know, that could be them kind of, you know, talking about what's going on in the music industry and the record labels, and Newfound Glory's not on MTV or anything like that, but they're not going anywhere. Right.
Even if pop punk was going by the wayside, they were not. And they haven't.
More fun for me to bash these songs, I'll be honest with you, like just to bash it up and down, but I don't think I can do that here. So, and I'll tell you why. So right where we left off, right away, like I said before, this is not your standard Newfound Glory song, in my opinion. This sounds different. It sounds like a song more of its time, and I love that time. I love those 2000s. I love that sound. The melody here is more interesting. It's more emotional, more emo, right? It gives you a little bit darker. The guitar in this, I think, you know, it kind of rips. Now, this does not, in my mind, feel like any kind of single or standout or something that could kind of stand on its own. But as an opener for this, and for someone like me that hasn't really been a big fan of what Newfound Glory has to offer, because I think the main part of it is, I think that just that droning on of Jordan's voice being at the same pitch throughout the entire song, very high, and doesn't really deviate with whatever guitar they have behind it. Usually it's so simplistic, is boring to me, and it doesn't sound good. It's just like a siren in my ear, and I don't want that. This doesn't give you that. This gives you an actual song. And I think that, you know, even though this may not be my favorite song on the entire album here, I will say that it just has a nice mixture of very strong drumming. It has a decent melody that I can get into. And I absolutely think that it has great guitar riffs that are much different than what I've heard so far. So I think this is definitely a great way to start off this album that makes me want to find out what it is Newfound Glory has in store for me, the non-fan, for the rest of this journey. So, and I didn't write that. That was off the top of my head.
Yeah, there wasn't ChatGPT either.
Don't do that. Why? See, people are going to think that now.
What would Chris 183 say?
That is not true. That is not true.
That was brilliant. It was poetic. I loved it.
Very nice, Chris.
Well, speaking of poetic, I I guess in the progression here, Punk Rock Mom, you are up first, and tell them all about how you're not going to let her pull you down.
Okay. I believe that this was one of the singles, right? It was like 3 singles off this album. I think this was one of them.
The second one, yep.
Yep. I liked it. I love chunky guitars. I'm not sure I'm not a musician. So, when you get that higher pitched guitar, me and my husband call them midleys, but you got that like the midleys with the chunky guitars. You can kind of get a idea of Chad's. So Chad did hardcore bands before he did New Found Glory. So you get a lot of his screamo. You can hear his screamo voice, which of course I love. You start to see the theme of this album here. During the time that they wrote this, I guess Chad and Jordan were both going through their first divorces. So you get a lot of breakup and angry and, like Chris said, kind of emo themes to this song. So this one's almost like a warning to a guy about a girl who's trying to play him. But one thing about this song that I love is the music video. So the song was released sometime in October, and the music video is very Halloweeny. It's set in a cemetery. I don't know if you know the DJ from, he used to be on K-Rock, Striker. He's in the music video. And it's got like a Michael Jackson Thriller kind of vibe. It's really silly. It's really fun. And this is a really fun live song. This is the only one that I could remember hearing live because, all the gang vocals, you get the crowd involved. So it's a good one. I like this one a lot.
Look, I think from the get-go, it's that hook of that guitar intro that really just does it. That however it goes, like I love that. I do. I think that's great. I think that if it were alive, whether I was listening to this live or if I pop this on, by myself or with friends, that's a song that you can immediately get into, and that's what I'm looking for. So I really think that they hit the mark there, but then when it starts getting into lyrics too, I feel like once again, like they deliver them in a way that's super unique. It's on top of that, that great guitar line. I love, that guitar during the second part too. So it's after that initial like opening where they start to like, it's like start and stop almost. I don't know. I have to listen to it again to really know, but I think that there's definitely some character here with the guitar, and it's adding to that melody. It's adding to that energy. And I think that the other part of it is I love the chorus. I'm into this one. So the chorus is super simple, but it's easy to sing along to. It has a good melody. Once again, it's all I'm looking for. Look, I'm just a regular guy that likes good music, right? So if they're going to give me a good chorus that sounds good, I'm going to be into it. I don't care what band it is. So again, clean slate November. This song works for me and I'm into it. So that's 2 for 2. Can you believe it?
How about that?
2 in a row?
Anybody have that on the High School Never Ends bingo card? Chris likes 2 New Found Glory songs in a row. Anyone?
No, nobody had that.
How about Steve?
I'm also just a regular guy, Chris. I'm a regular guy over here. Hot take. This should have been track 1.
Oh.
This should have been track 1. Yeah. I guess it's not that hot a take. Yeah. Would you call the guitar midleys?
Yeah, when you get like the high guitar.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know what the word that you used was.
Joey and I call them midleys. I don't know why we do, but we do. Midleys. Yep.
I just wrote down that it's got the guitar just drives the song. It's that driving guitar, and it's like in contrast to having the like chuggy heavy one, and there's a little bit of that, but that driving guitar in the background is just that's the song. It's fantastic. The chorus is driven by the guitar because it's just one line repeated with the scream / gang vocals. But I thought the lyrics in this one, I liked them a little bit more than the last one. There's a verse where he says, you're living so far away from the truth that you're leaving with no choice to put you back in your place with every sentence. Like that's that like kind of smart ass, angsty lyrics rather than those, what did you call it? Melodramatic ones, like being a wolf in sheepskin. So I think Don't Let Her Pull You Down was fantastic. The bridge, Some of the bridges in this album are not as strong as some of the other ones, but this one does fairly well. So I thought overall this was a very good song, and I wish it was number one so I could keep my running list of how many awesome number one songs there were. Oh well.
I know what I was referring to. So the guitar was like, like it goes like it was like in chunks. It would be like dun 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 dun. But that dun was like a. So it's in the second verse. It's how the second verse goes. It's a little bit different than the first. It doesn't have that backing, that high guitar track, but it has something else, and I think it keeps it going. So there is a little bit of chunky guitars in this. You may have missed it, Steve.
Yeah, there are some, but the the one that I'm talking about, the Midleys, that one.
That's the one I was saying. That's
that one.
That's what I was
rocks the whole
referencing
thing.
too. I think we were all referencing them in different ways.
Okay.
Midleys should definitely be on a T-shirt for High School Never. Can we make that happen?
We should do that. We'll do that if we listen to our friends.
Let's go.
Always
Let's
listen
go.
to your friends.
I think you're up there, Chris.
Am I up? This song was a song that had a consistent tempo throughout, and I appreciated that. I thought that I think it was better when you get to the verse, and the verse kind of gives you more of an emo sounding, like again, more of that just subdued, muted sounding melody. I don't know how else to put it, of the time. So I was into the verse part. The chorus just wasn't it wasn't my thing. It wasn't the melody that I wanted in the chorus. So it kind of broke that connection for me. I think the song could have been great because, again, I really, really loved that tempo, that they wouldn't stop throughout the whole thing. I thought that was something special. And I absolutely love the tenor and the melody of the verse, but something about that chorus again just kind of took me out of it. So, unfortunately, the chorus is a big part of the song, and it brought it down a couple notches. So this one, even though it could have been probably like a 7 or 8, it definitely ended up being a 4 or 5.
Ooh, I'll go next.
Ooh.
I think when I first listened to like the beginning of the track, I get this like, I don't know, the guitar kind of reminds me a little bit of Shoulder to the Wheel by Saves the Day. And in this song, I love Jordan's vocal cadence throughout the entire thing. The verses are a little word vomity, right? Where he's just going and going and going. And the pre-chorus is the same thing. It's like fast delivery, super catchy. Oh, I found that note in my pocket. I don't ever want to. It's just going really, really fast. Don't mind the chorus. I think the chorus is pretty strong in this one. The second verse, I feel like if you look at the second verse and you read the lyrics, they could have like slowed this down and basically had like a hands down song. The lyrics go, I remember the string of events from the dinner receipt. When I grabbed your hand, I knew that you went in for a kiss and told you that's not only what this is. You held me at the end of my seat and you had that look of defeat. You wish that you could start this over. Instead, you left me in a coma. I feel like we could slow that down and put it to hands down and it could be good. But that's not what this song is. Do you guys know what this song is? This song is a sequel to My Friends Over You. Basically, they're saying, though you swear that you are true, I'd still pick my friends over you. But then his friends told him something and he didn't listen. He didn't pick his friends over them. And now he's saying I should have fucking listened to my friends because they told me that you had bad intentions. There's a bridge that has basically just the bass, just Ian doing the bass. So that's a Mark Hoppus kind of thing, right? Let's highlight the bass there. The guitar line before that bridge is fantastic. Really, really great harmonies. The last couple times they do the chorus where it's I should have listened to my friends and I don't ever want to see you again, like in the background. And, the shout back, listen to your friend. The shout back is great. So I thought this was a very, if number 3 is supposed to be the powerhouse single spot, then that works for me.
How do you think that Mark Hoppus felt when they ranked this song last? Do you think he wasn't happy with that?
Oh, the album?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I'm sure it didn't feel good, but I don't think that it's because of the production. It could just be because he didn't like the songs that he wrote.
If you produced an album and somebody ranked it last out of 10, would you say that to somebody? Would you say that to yourself? Like, it wasn't because of me.
I maybe to make myself feel better. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Mark Hoppus in this scenario because I don't think he deserves that.
Mark's doing just fine. He's okay.
Maybe
now.
he doesn't know. Nobody tell him.
He didn't read that article.
No,
He didn't.
no.
He didn't. We need to revisit that. But okay, cool. So that's your thoughts. Why don't you keep it going, Steve, and talk about
Punk Rock Mom's got to
Well,
listen
it's
to.
my turn.
You got to listen to her
I thought
You have to listen to me now. All right. I think this is I think it's a fun, catchy sing-along kind of song. I think it kind of goes, to me, it's like a classic New Found Glory sound. It kind of comes off as a classic New Found Glory kind of song. I always catch myself like, tapping my toe to it. It's fun. There's a great sweet guitar solo in the middle of that song. I think the lyrics are, when you compare lyrics to New Found Glory between like an album like this and Forever and Ever Times Infinity and Coming Home, the lyrics here in this album are so much more complex. Again, I think that's the Steve Klein influence that you see. And again, this is another single and another really fun music video. So I guess Chad's really into was at the time really into UFC fighting. So the video is kind of like a play on a UFC match where they fight each other and they fight other UFC guys. There's even a cameo by Big John McCarthy, who's like a famous UFC referee. And it's a bonus shirtless Chad video. So it's one of my favorites. But yeah, I love this song.
It is a good one. But I know how you said that the lyrics are complex. And when we get to this next song, 47, I called you 46 times and you answered on the 47th. Yeah, I don't know that carries from song to song necessarily on this album. I think the start stop of the drums and the guitar here, just, I don't know, they seem like too much. I liked the pre-chorus, except he throws in this, like, this is not how it's supposed to end in my mind, my baby. Like, I don't know, when someone says my baby, like, it kind of just makes me cringe a little bit. That was the part of the song that I kind of liked. I think the chorus is very stupid. There's a part, I don't know, after the second chorus or so that doesn't even, like, maybe it's a bridge, like it doesn't even fit well. To me, the song is just really wonky. I don't buy it. I'm not a fan.
All right. Punk Rock Mom, what did you think about the number of times that Steve once called
So this song, anytime I hear it, it makes me jump because it's my ringtone. It's been my ringtone for years,
Wow.
right? So I think it's just kind of a fun thrown in there kind of song. I don't think it's one of the best ones on the album, but it's special to me. I really like it. The lyrics, as cheesy as they are, even with the my baby part in there, it reminds me so much of the early 2000s and meeting my husband. We were long distance when we first started, and telephones and phone calls were what just kind of, kept us glued together. And, the part where he says, so answer me so we don't fall apart. It's like how important those phone calls were, talking for hours at a time. I really like the drums in this one. I think, Cyrus kind of never gets the attention he deserves, but the drums are really good in this song. It's also currently my theme song for the year because I just turned 47. So yes. So
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So it's not, I think it's a fun one, but Chris, what do you think?
Do you think when Punk Rock Papa was calling you at the time, did he ever call you 46 times in a row?
No, I answer right away when he calls. Still do.
Steve, I know you didn't call anybody that many times, but I feel like there was one or two times where I called a couple times. I feel like after probably like one or two, though, I stopped.
I might have called somebody 46 times.
In a row?
Maybe once.
I mean, you are persistent.
Within a short period of time.
Like one after another after another?
I remember, maybe do that twice, but then wait a little bit of time. Maybe it wasn't 46 times. I remember I was supposed to get somebody home and they weren't answering the phone, but I wanted to leave. I had to get out of where I was at. but they weren't answering. And I was like, well, if I leave, then they're stranded. So maybe I'll just be persistent and keep calling. I don't know.
Maybe I did that once where I couldn't get into my house and I had to get into the house and I had no key. So I kept calling and calling and calling and nobody would answer.
You know how
So-
if you put your phone on like do not disturb, right? And someone calls you 2 times in a row, this is an iPhone thing. They call you 2 times in a row though, it'll ring because it'll think it's an emergency. They should have a setting where if you call 46 times in a row, nothing happens. But if you call on the 47th, then it alerts you because that is some fucking serious stuff.
It's an automatic answer with the 47th.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he was planning to get in a house. I think he was just desperate to talk to a girl.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yes. It was not, yeah. But, well, did I ever call my wife that many times? No. I think once or twice. I called 5 times in a row. But anyway, and it was like, hey, what if this was an emergency and you didn't pick up? Like, then what? Like, why wouldn't you pick up? Oh, I didn't see the phone. It was one of those conversations. So, but we're okay. So I think that this song has definitely some head nodding parts to it. And I love that that quick riff, that heavier riff, that I like that a lot. So I thought that was fun. I like the way they do the punk-ish type. I called you 46 times. I think that's cool. I don't know. I like the way they kind of broke up the song. I think the chorus is definitely fun because of that. I love the other part of it too. The verse is fine. It's a fast-paced song. It has a good melody. It has a fun bridge, and I think this song does well. I enjoyed this one. I thought it kicked. So I'm a fan of 47.
I would love to see this one live. That would be fun.
Yeah, a lot of good things here. All right.
Danny.
So now this one I'm super interested to hear. This is Punk Rock Mom, right? You're starting this one off, or no? Am I? Did I get the rotational wrong here?
You know, there's no official rotation. Doesn't have to go like
I'm
a
trying to
snake
stick the
draft.
rotation. We have rules on this show.
Then sure. Punk Rock Mom.
Okay, we're on Truck Stop Blues, right?
Yep.
We are. Yes.
Okay.
So what did you think about this one?
So I like this one again. This is another one of the singles that they released off of the album. I like it. It's a song about, being a musician and life on the road, and the lines, "This isn't what you signed up for. We're kept together by highways and telephone lines." Again, crazy fast drums by Cyrus. Another really good music video. It's a weird one. They're like at a truck stop, obviously, but there's this weird animation that's throughout the music video. And I tried to find out if Jordan did the animation, because like Steve had said earlier, he's also a tattoo artist. I know he did a lot of drawings, but I'm not sure who did it. But it's a really cool music video. And fun fact, NoFX has a song called Truck Stop Blues. So when I was doing research for this, Punk Rock Dad's a NoFX fan. So he said, wait, NoFX has a song. So I listened to that, and it's a very slow and sad song. So very opposite of this one. But I liked it. I thought it's keeping up with this fun, fast pace that I think this album has. I think it's, again, like a classic New Found Glory song. Yeah, I really liked it.
I agree with you on the nice pace thing. I think the pace helped the song in a certain way, but I did find it a little bit less interesting. I thought that the lyrical melody was kind of stagnant on this one, a little bit, not as much range in the way it was sung. And I did not think that the backing music was anything that I could really latch on to here. So no hook for me, no earworms, just kind of a song that had sound to it that I just didn't want to listen to. So interesting premise here, decent pace, but not sure that I care at all. So unfortunately, this one was a thumbs down.
Wow, that's the first thumbs down, though. All right, we got to 5 tracks. That's
Wow.
something. I would say if Listen to Your Friends is like the sequel to My Friends Over You, Truck Stop Blues could be the sequel to Never Snows in Florida, right? It's a song about long distance and stuff like that. That stuff can tug at my heartstrings. I can get that. And this actually kind of feels like a Nothing Gold Can Stay type of track. Like the verses, not the production, but the verses are like raw and fast. I feel like it's got a very strong chorus. And I love the concept of the song. I'm on the road and it's really hard to be away from you. Overall, I like this one a lot. I thought it was good.
Are you sure it's not about truck drivers? Because I thought it was about truck drivers.
It could be about whatever you want it to be.
And when you think about a truck stop, like, are we talking like a Buc-ee's type of truck stop like that? That's not a truck stop, though.
More like a Love's or a Flying J's.
Love's. That's right. Can regular people stop at Love's? Can I just stop at Love's?
Yeah, you can.
Do I really want to, though?
You could go. You could take a shower there if you wanted to. They got showers.
Do I really want to? Do I really want to?
I think, doesn't Buc-ee's also have trucker parking? It probably does.
It's
Those
not
places are
trucker
huge.
friendly.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. That's why truckers do not like Buc-ee's, because it's not. Which is weird because it's so it's so enormous that you would think so, but it's not.
Do you guys have Buc-ee's out there where you are?
No.
Oh, okay, out here either.
There's only a handful. There's actually there's a billboard for isn't there one in Ohio?
I think it's coming soon, or maybe it's there. I went to the one in Alabama when I was down in that area, so I saw that Buc-ee's. That was the first time. So this is like when I saw it for the first time, it was like just an oasis. It was amazing. It was something I've never seen before. So I long for the day that I can go back and try, like, I don't know what they have. They have everything. You can buy a wardrobe, you can buy a shirt, a sweatshirt, you can buy a stuffed animal of a Buc-ee.
Fudge.
You can have a fudge, and you can get yourself a really nice roast beef sandwich or whatever you like, right? It doesn't matter. You like turkey breast? You can have that. You like just a rack of ribs? They could probably have that too. Doesn't matter.
It's like sheets on steroids.
Salads? Maybe you're not into the barbecue meats. Maybe you just like salads. You can do that too.
I stopped there. We drove from Pennsylvania down to Florida. So we stopped somewhere, maybe in the Carolinas. There was one, I think.
Oh, man, I want to visit one so bad. I think there's a billboard here in near Palm Springs that says like next Buc-ee's like 1,000 and something miles away. I guess they're building one in Arizona.
I was about to say there's one near me that says like 500 miles away.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was Ohio, because the Pennsylvania Turnpike like kind of connects to Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Ohio or Kentucky or where it is. I mean, don't forget that Kentucky's super close to Cincinnati, so it could be there, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? You have a bunch of other things over in your neck of the woods, like an In-N-Out that we do not have.
Yeah, we got a lot of those.
I'm so jealous.
Del Taco?
Really? Ew, Del Taco is awful.
I didn't say it was good. I just said you had it and we don't.
Taco Bell forever.
Really?
Bell forever. Yes.
I know people that don't think so.
I know my husband's one of those people. That's what divides
I had Del
us.
Taco at a work event, probably like in 2008. And I thought it was pretty good, but it was very late at night. Very late at night.
What's that other one? Pollo Loco, maybe?
We have a Pollo Loco here, yeah.
Yeah, that's a California thing.
That's all right.
Hermanos.
Los Pollos Hermanos. That's fake.
That's
I went to the real Los Pollos Hermanos, though.
Did you?
Yeah, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I did a Breaking Bad tour, a self Breaking Bad tour. I went to all the places where they filmed the things.
This is probably not funny to them at all, but did you ask for the manager?
I don't know if I went in. I think I just took a picture of the exterior. It looked like there was like nobody in there. It was kind of shady. But I went to the car wash. I went to the people that own Walter White's house are like assholes. They sit outside. So first off, they gated their house because people kept throwing pizzas on their roof, and they just like sit outside in these lawn chairs, and they like yell at you because you're like you're allowed to be on the sidewalk across the street, but if you like take 2 steps back, you're on like these rocks that are part of the neighbor's property, and they were like yelling at us. We were like, "Yo, guys, like, calm down. We're not like doing anything."
They should just move. If they don't like it, move.
Yep.
They're famous. All right.
They knew what they bought.
We digress. I think we're on Tangled Up, right? Did we finish Truck Stop Blues? We took a truck stop. Took a pit stop.
We did. Is this song a cover of, you know how they do Disney covers? Is that what this is?
No, this has nothing to do with Tangled. No.
Okay, because that's what I thought, because they do that. So surprising when it wasn't.
those are all on cover albums. They don't put them on the regular albums.
Mm-hmm. So I guess this is me. I here's a couple of things I got on this one. So the chorus, I think the first half of the chorus is good. There's like two sides of this chorus. The second half I thought was flat. The "what can I do" part, I didn't like that as much. So I thought that it started off so good. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna really like this chorus, and I was like, what are they doing? Why is it going into that? So I don't know, 50-50, right? Coin flip there. The verse to me kind of drones on, so not my cup of tea. And I like the heavier riffs, but it just wasn't enough again to keep me on this song as a thumbs up. So definitely not one that I would endorse. Tangled Up, sorry. It should have been a cover. I don't know what Tangled songs are though. I don't know what they would cover that in that one.
Who was that? Mandy Moore? Was she in that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Let It Go, right?
No, that's Frozen.
No, that's Frozen.
Oh, isn't it the same thing?
No.
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Different.
I can't think of any songs from that movie.
She sings that song. Oh man, you know when she's doing her hair, and she's stuck in the tree.
You want to?
Not When Will My Life Begin?
Yeah,
no?
that's it.
Is that it? That's from Tangled. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it like?
And I brush and brush and brush and brush my hair. When
is she
will my life begin?
like she's in a tree house? This is Rapunzel, right? She's up in the tower.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to build a tree house? Is that a song?
No, it's Snowman.
No,
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
That's Frozen.
Okay, sorry.
You're all tangled up, bro.
I'm serious too. I'm not joking. I hope you guys don't think this is like some kind of shtick.
That's fine. You're tangled up with your Disney movies.
Yes.
I'll go next. So this to me comes off as like kind of pop punk 101 type song. The chorus very, very simple. Like I don't dislike this song or anything, but it doesn't do much for me. I would say so. It's weird. It doesn't say it on Spotify, but if you look it up on like Wikipedia, it says "Tangled Up" featuring Haley Williams.
I saw that too.
Like, where the fuck is Haley Williams? Is
She's
she
not
in
on
the
this track.
last chorus? Like, if you're bringing Haley Williams in, like, do it. Do it like Vicious Love. That's how you do Haley Williams featuring in a song. For if she sings like 4 notes in this one to put her name on it, like she had something to do with it, and you have to like, if I don't know where it is, that's saying something. So I don't know. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah, middle of the road for me. Don't dislike it, but not like an incredible song here.
Did she play an instrument maybe on this one, or was she like in the other room?
Does Haley even play an instrument, or is she just a singer?
I mean, we don't know what she does. She could be talented enough to play an instrument.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, at least in Paramore, I think she just sings, right?
I can't picture her playing guitar.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Shaker, like the shaker thing that they use with the
like a maraca.
Yeah, like they shake.
I remember we went to a concert up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. My one buddy, he was on our show, Scotty Brilliant. His goal was that while Newfound Glory was on, he was going to try and find Haley Williams so that he could win her over from Chad. I don't think it was successful, but you know, it is what it is. That was his goal.
But yeah, I saw the same thing on Wikipedia that Tangled Up featuring Haley Williams. So I must have listened to this song the most doing research for this episode today, because I kept trying to listen for her voice too, because I thought the same thing. You're going to put Haley's voice on a track, put Haley's voice on a track. So I don't think it's true. I don't think she's featured in this. 2009, 2008, they probably recorded it. I would assume they were together at the time. I know.
I mean, if you Google
Chad.
it though, it comes up like featuring Haley Williams. Like I Googled Tangled Up featuring Haley Williams, and there were like a couple of things that said it.
I don't
know if that makes it true.
Yeah, I couldn't hear her anywhere in the song. But I think this song, again, like we're not getting any breaks here. Like it's like you said, it's a fast paced, typical pop punk song, heavy guitar intro. I kind of agree with Chris. The beginning of the chorus is really good. I love that line. Oh, I should have never laid eyes on you. To me, it's kind of like a divorce anthem. You know, regretting a relationship that you were in, but now you're so deep in and it's so hard to untangle yourself. Like it kind of just takes me back to, you know, back in 2003 when I went through my own divorce, and then just those feelings of just like, God, I wish I never would have met you and I wouldn't be in this mess that I'm in right now.
Well, and that'll feed right into I'll Never Love Again, right?
Exactly. See, we have a whole theme in this album.
Yeah, they're taking us across. Is this a concept album? No.
Who's up?
Elisa, you go.
I'll go. All right. Another good guitar intro. I think the guitars on this album are super good, along with the drums. Heavy, heavy drums on this one. We get a tiny, tiny schmidge a little bit slower. We're starting to kind of see a slowdown on the album a little bit. Again, gang vocals all day. And we're starting to hear like I think they're starting to get past the angry phase of the album, and now they're getting to the sad emo phase of the album. The lines, and I don't have the face to turn heads or the body that cuts loose ends. It's kind of really down on himself kind of song. I wanted to like this one a lot more than I do, but it's probably one of my least favorites on this album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make it really easy. So it's a mediocre song with a drab chorus. Gang vocals definitely are overrated in my opinion, so they don't save this. It drags on and it definitely is not good. So the yelling is not enough. I know that some may say, well, Chris, you really like the hardcore stuff. So what gives here? You don't like this. And I'm telling you that there needs to be more than just yelling to make me happy. And this one does not make me happy. This one makes me sad.
Oh,
Yeah.
sad
Yeah.
Chris.
I agree with you guys. It almost sounded like the same guitar as "Don't Let Her Pull You Down." Like I don't know what it is, but the guitar line just sounded like familiar. Like I'd heard it from Newfound Glory before. The chorus is like super weak, and when Chad does that, like "I'll never love again," he's like half assing it. Like he's not even doing the scream. He's half-assing it. This is not a very good song, and I don't know, guys. Maybe the reason why I didn't take on this album is I think that the majority. I'm not going to give away my whole hand here, but the majority of the second half of this album I find quite weak. And if you look at the Spotify streams, like after you get to track 5, like they go fucking south, like big time. So I might not be the only one with that opinion, but we'll still obviously finish this out and see if there's any bright lights in the dark desert that is the second half of Not Without a Fight. I don't know. Punk Rock Mom might think different.
Yeah, for sure. Steve, are you doing reasons here?
Sure. Yeah, I think they want me to like feel this one. Like this seems like a song like they want me to like feel it. Like I don't know, the little bit of acoustics that you get kind of reminds me a little bit of that song. I think it's called Seasons, not Reasons, by Good Charlotte. Summer air reminds me of all the feelings of your like, and I feel that one, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. This like all the you like they repeat the word you like a million times. It's like it's mid tempo. It's not really a ballad, but it's not a song that like rocks or anything like that. And there's this there's this awkward guitar solo at the end, and then they go back into the acoustic. Like I don't know. I don't know what we're doing with this one. Maybe you guys can help me. Something I didn't get with the reasons. Are there reasons to like this song? Anyone?
Go ahead, Punk Rock Mom. You got this one.
All right. This one is kind of all over the place too. I think like they attempted to slow it down. I don't know if they attempted to make a ballad here, but I wrote down slow-ish because it still has kind of a little hard edge to it. I think this one is just a really great example of those melodramatic lyrics that we were talking about that, of course, I love. Things like you can cut off my tongue. I'm speechless, defeatist, and I'm wasting away to nothing at your feet. Or you ripped my soul right from under me. Just very dramatic. It's very...
Cut my wrist and black my eyes.
Exactly. Very emo. But, I mean, it's okay.
We had that conversation about blacking eyes, right? I think we did on the Hawthorne Heights episode. We did. We definitely did. Because I didn't know if it was like the eye black that the football players put on, or if it's actually getting punched in the eye and blacking somebody's eye.
It's probably like what do you put on your eyes? Mascara?
Me?
Oh, the eyeliner.
Eyeliner, mascara.
Put black eyeliner on your eyes.
I just mean one with the the general one.
Yeah.
Guyliner.
It was one thing that came up. I don't know, but yeah. So look, this one has a small line with a little circle around it a couple times, kind of like an infinity, but not really, because that's a symbol that tells me that you need to listen to this song again and again and again. So I didn't have any notes for this one. This one's completely blank because I just could not figure out how I wanted to talk about this one. And no matter how many times I've listened to it, couldn't come up with anything because I don't want to trash it. I don't think that it's bad. And I actually kind of get into the melody here and the tempo. So it's like one of those songs where it doesn't sound great in a lot of ways. It's not like a super memorable lyrical melody, but it kind of is a memorable guitar melody. So it's weird how that kind of goes together. And I know it's like, well, the melody's a melody, the harmony's a harmony, but it's still a little bit different. So I think that I'm just gonna sit here and be undecided on this one. I hate to play the fence. Usually pretty decisive about songs, but this one is like, I just need more time with it to be able to make any kind of just reasonable, opinionated statement about it, because I don't want to go the wrong direction without doing that. So, but I can tell you that it's headed in the right direction. This is not like I feel like a 2 and I want to find reasons to bring it up to an 8. This is more like, probably a 5 or a 6 that maybe with time could be a 7 or a 7.5. So I'm kind of in that range, but just
Wow.
nothing today.
I'm going to
Something
take
about
that
it.
as a win. I'm going to
Something
take that as
about
a
it. Something about it.
Interesting.
Chris, why don't you go into such a mess?
Yeah, let's do that. So again, this is a song. Now I like this better than Reasons. I'm just gonna throw that out there, number one. So this one I felt like I had immediate connection with this one because of the way the song starts and the guitar and the sound. So, in this one, it had the heavy inspired guitar. It had a little less of that annoying Jordan vocals that just turns me off of this band. He sings differently in this one once again. So I just think it's simply put, like, I enjoyed the melody. I enjoyed the way he sang it. And I like the heavier edge to it. So that's really it. I mean, you put those three things together, and I'm giving this song a star. I think it deserved one. What did you guys think? I know that Steve, you had mentioned that I'm getting choked up here. I know that you had mentioned that you weren't necessarily like into the latter half of this album, so I wonder if this kind of continues down that path.
It does. The chords in the song just sound like everything else to me. Dun, dun, dun. The guitar sounds the same as I'll Never Love Again. It almost sounds like the same to me from a couple tracks ago. The verses, not super catchy. The chorus is pretty much nothing. The best part of the bridge I wrote down is the best part of the song is the bridge, but I don't even really recall exactly what the bridge is. So yeah, second half of this album is rough to me. It's rough. And may I say it's such a mess? I don't know.
I was waiting for that. Come on, like you had to do that.
Gotta hit the softballs.
It was right there.
Just
Somebody's
like them,
gonna laugh.
just
Somebody
like
has
them
to laugh.
Dodgers.
Champs. Dodgers are the champs. All right. So this song, like, I kind of felt, thinking about the album like as a side A and a side B. Those last two songs, kind of brings it down a little bit. I think this song kind of brings it back. I think, they slowed the pace down. They didn't do it for long. We come back with a fast, again, big chunky guitars. One thing I kind of thought was kind of cute and clever is how they use the end of the verse, the sentence is incomplete, and then it kind of finishes off with the chorus, or it says like losing face with the hours, photographs of our best moments, and then the chorus starts, makes me such a mess, and it keeps going. I like this song. This song always kind of gets stuck in my head anytime I listen to this album. I liked it.
All
That's
right,
her story.
cool.
She's sticking to it.
That's right.
Steve, you've been heartless at best during this latter part of this album. You've been the me to this latter part of this album, and I've been the you. This is Bizarro World, so let's keep that going. Give us your opinion on the next song.
Yeah, this is definitely the best song in a bunch that I think are not all that great. I think, to be honest with you, I just like the tune. I like the music. I also think the chorus is kind of lackluster. The last time they sing it, they add in some harmonies, and they definitely make it a lot better. I really did like the verses a whole lot, as well as the bridge. And I think this one in the grouping is probably my favorite of this latter half of the album.
See, I didn't think so. I thought that this one was just there. I do like the "You're still my living proof." I like that part. Excuse me, but I thought it was a little bit too on the poppy side. It just sounded like a pop song. Didn't sound like a pop punk song. More like a pop song. So I wasn't in the mood to listen to pop songs when I'm listening to pop punk. I That's it. Like, it's somewhat redeeming because it sounds fairly good. To your point, Steve, like the tune, the melody isn't bad. I think you said it was good, but I think it isn't bad, but only somewhat redeeming. Definitely not all the way. So this just has no substance for me. I'm out.
I have to kind of agree with you guys. I think this is not one of the best on the album for sure. Feels like, I don't know, the lyrics are real sad. It's very emo. I do like the way it starts. This smoking gun of a mouth of mine has many victims to its name. Yeah, I think they're hiding an emo album in the back end of this pop punk record.
Maybe emo was popular around this time.
And I liked emo, and I just wish, and I can't say that every emo song is good. I like the way that they're going that direction, but I don't think they have the melodies to really back that up in these songs. It doesn't hit. And I think that continues with This Isn't You. I'll just start. Why not? Because I'll make it easy here. I feel like this song really just has no emotion for me, no substance. The melody's super bland. It's blander than a soda cracker without the soda, or without the what do they have? Salt on them? I don't know. What do you guys eat? Ritz crackers. That's bland. I hate Ritz crackers. So that's what it tastes like to me. It's just a placeholder that doesn't sound good. So why even bother with a placeholder that doesn't sound good? Because it's not holding any places. It makes me want to get out of line completely. Like, I've been waiting there, and I'm like, I don't want to wait anymore. So this doesn't catch me, hold me in line at all. I absolutely could not wait for this one to be over, and the lyrics are dumb.
You know, you said something that really did resonate with me, and that is that this song, This Isn't You, it is a Ritz cracker. A Ritz cracker is good, but it's not the greatest cracker out there. You'll eat the cracker, you know, maybe you want to dip it in some guacamole or something like that. It's not something that's super fancy. It's not like a Triscuit with, you know, roasted garlic or anything. This song to me is just that. It's a middle of the road song. It's totally fine, but it's not particularly memorable. And other than it being crunchy and salty, like, there's not really a whole lot of other things that I can describe this Ritz cracker of this song. But it's perfectly fine, and I'll listen to it. I will consume it. Thank you for that analogy, Chris. You really gave me exposition there.
You took my analogy and you kind of ruined it, though. Like, Ritz crackers.
A Ritz cracker is good. Now those regular crackers that have like no salt, no nothing, I think they call them fancy crackers or something. I don't know. They sell them at Whole Foods and stuff like that. Those
I'd rather eat anything. I like crackers. I'll eat the matzah. You ever have a matzah?
I'm a Jew. You're asking me if I've ever had a
I don't
matzah?
know. I mean, that doesn't immediately. You act like I have spaghetti every night because I'm Italian.
Of this matzah thing?
Okay, well, I grew up. My dad would buy boxes of matzah crackers all the time, and like, That's what we would like to eat. And I'm not Jewish,
good.
and I like them. It doesn't matter.
Have you had
But-
egg and onion matzah?
Yes, those are good.
That one's fucking
Those
good.
are good.
Yeah, put some
But
butter
you know what's
on
not
that
good
boy.
is Ritz crackers. You got to be like, I throw those away by the box. I buy them to throw them away. That's like a cracker that it tastes like it's shellacked with something. You know what shellac is? You know what that means?
Explain me. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like it's glossy. You're eating a glossy cracker. That's gross. So a Triscuit's good. It has some grit to it. It has a texture. It's good. But Ritz are like
It's got those little
smooth-
threads that get stuck in your teeth.
They're like butter. It's fake
delicious.
butter
You're
smoothness.
We
you're
have, to,
wants to eat that.
crazy.
we have to go to the
Ritz-
third party here to break this
Ritz are-
tie.
Ritz are buttery goodness.
Boom.
Maybe
One-
you want to compare them to a saltine, a saltless saltine, maybe a Ritz cracker, a superior cracker. I don't even know what you're talking about. I sent Punk Rock Pop out to the grocery store last night to get milk. He came home with a box of chocolate covered Ritz crackers
Whoa.
that are phenomenal.
Whoa.
Well, that's
So-
different. I mean, it ruins the chocolate, but I mean, I think that look, if I had one wish, if I had a genie in a lamp right here, my wish would be to give me all the Ritz crackers in the world into a big bag that I could throw into the deepest part of the ocean. That's what I'd want to do. And then I'd feel better.
Did you ever watch that that funny chef guy on Instagram? I think we follow him on our account.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? His name is Chef Reactions. That's what it is. He's
Oh,
this,
I
like,
watch it every day of my life. I
He's
love
this
that
dude from North Jersey, and he watches this one where this woman takes a shitload of Ritz crackers and like boils them down and then puts them in a
Oh.
pie. It's hilarious. And this guy he's really funny. He's just
Tell
like,
me you know him or know somebody that know him because I need to have him on the show.
I have no connection to him other than I found his videos and I went down a fucking rabbit hole and I watch them all the time.
But your chef reactions, it's really good.
Yeah.
But
So, Chef
ahead,
Elisa,
yeah.
Ritz crackers,
Anyways.
thumbs up. How about the song?
Yes. Okay. So this isn't you again. Another breakup song, and this is the first time. I know you said there was like 5 million pick slides in this album, but this is the first time that I'm really hearing it. And so when I heard that, I thought of you guys obviously immediately. Another thing I noticed is at the chorus at the end of this song, you kind of hear Jordan's normal Jordan-y kind of voice. At the end, you can really hear the distinction between what he's singing on this album and what he usually sounds like in that chorus. So I assumed Chris wouldn't like this song. So I think this song is a Ritz cracker. It's not a Ritz cracker with chocolate, but it's okay.
I got to try one of those.
Give me your address. I'll send you a box. I don't know if they got them out where you are,
You
but
got it.
they're phenomenal.
So they're coated in milk chocolate?
Yeah.
They're coated.
They're coated, fully covered.
Wow.
So I don't know if they had other chocolate flavors, dark chocolate.
That
I don't know.
sounds dangerous. Like I could eat, like if you eat a whole sleeve of Ritz crackers, at least it's not like that bad. But if you eat a whole sleeve of like chocolate covered Ritz crackers, like
Yeah.
that's no bueno.
Yeah. I only had one. That's all I was allotted yesterday, but it was good.
it's like they're like a sweet cracker. Like that almost crackers shouldn't be sweet. They should be
Sweet?
salty.
Sweet and
They
salty.
are salty.
That's the best combo, sweet and salty.
Ugh. Terrible. Terrible. Hey, everybody out there that's listening to the show right now, and I know you're out there. I know you're listening. I know you agree with me. So can you sound off? We'll do a poll on the best crackers of all time. Okay, let's do a
All
poll.
right.
Okay.
Remind me when this episode goes live to do the poll. I'll do it.
Okay.
So you might be saying to yourself, don't let this be the end of the album. Or you might be saying to yourself, please let this be the end of the album. It depends on your opinion of this album. Who wants to? Elisa, why don't you finish it off?
Okay. All right. So I did not want it to be the end of this album. I think we've talked about it. You guys have talked about it before. They always have pretty good closing songs that kind of make sense for the end of the album. This kind of follows that whole pattern. Don't let this be the end. Again, like every song in this album, mega gang vocals on it. I thought it was a very classic Newfound Glory kind of song. So I think it brought it back. Out of the end of the album, this is probably one of the better songs, I think.
I think I'll
Wow.
agree with that. I'm expecting something very good here at the last song. As you said, there are There are some very good final songs on their albums. I do get the kind of bop alongs with this one. Absolutely. I like the mix between the verses and the chorus. The chorus again is a little bit simple. We're starting to break up. It's kind of well, what it is. I like the transitions in the song. The transition into the bridge, very good. Overall, I think it's a solid last track. The gang vocals, the melodies. This is the things they do well. Maybe on this album as a whole, they did a little too much. I don't know, but overall, solid last track. Not quite on par with some of the other last tracks, but it's pretty good. Especially how the second half of the album came off to me. I think this redeems it a little bit.
My opinion is rinse and repeat here. So no, I mean, look, I'm glad that it's the end of this song. I do not feel like when it was the end of the song, I was definitely happy for that. I thought this song made this record end in a thud. Unfortunately, I do not like classic New Found Glory. So if that's what this is, no wonder. I felt that it was just not good. I didn't want that to be the case either, because I think that there was definitely a lot of things here that I was into. And for it to kind of be what it was towards the end of this album, including this track, it was kind of disappointing, because I thought they really put together some really nice melodies throughout. And so it is what it is, right? I just couldn't get into this one. I thought it was bad. I don't like gang vocals, so that didn't matter. And overall, I kind of know where I would go if I was handed this album. I kind of know that I would probably stay away from the last couple tracks here, because they're just not my thing.
Yeah, like 7 to 12 almost.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It's interesting
There's-
that I don't have
There's
that strong
definitely a
opinion.
dip. There's definitely a dip, but I wouldn't agree that the whole back half was bad. But there's a dip there.
No, I mean, it depends on where you go for the back. I mean, I guess the back half would be 7 to 12. That's the back half of the album. And I don't think that's the case either. There's a couple ones in there that I actually decently liked. So,
Yeah.
but this one definitely wasn't one of them. So we did it. We got through it. It was a journey for sure. And hopefully you guys out there, you believe in the clean slate, because the clean slate brought us to the point of the show where ranking it is going to be very interesting, because usually I'm very negative about New Found Glory. Usually Steve's extremely positive about New Found Glory. And even though he was, and Punk Rock Mom is generally positive about New Found Glory. I don't think that you had much bad to say about this one, but ultimately it's going to be interesting to see what our top 3 are. So for those of you out there that don't know what ranking it is, very simple. We rank our top 3 favorite songs off the album that we're talking about today. If you haven't been listening to the episode and you skipped directly to this part, which some of you might, we're talking about the album Not Without a Fight by the band New Found Glory. I forgot what band it was for a second. Should not have. But without further ado, guests are always first. So, Punk Rock Mom, what are your top 3 songs in order? 3, 2, 1 off this album.
Okay. This one was kind of difficult. I think I changed my ranking it like 4 different times. I just changed it again right now. But I'm going to go with number 3, the song 47, only because it's got kind of a special meaning to me. It's my ringtone. So, really, Punk Rock Pop was really the only person who called me. So when I hear that, I know he's on the phone. And again, it's kind of my theme song this year, just having turned 47 a couple weeks ago.
I didn't think people use ringtones anymore.
I do.
My phone's just always on silent or like vibrate.
No, I still got this one. And then I have for number 2, Don't Let Her Pull You Down. I just think that's such a classic New Found Glory song. It's probably the most popular song off of this album. And then number 1 for me is going to be Listen to Your Friends. I really like that song. It's one that's constantly stuck in my head. I find myself singing it all the time. If you pulled this album and said you can only pick one song, that's the one I would pick.
All righty. I will go next as per usual. And my number 3 is going to be Such a Mess. I mentioned how I had an immediate connection with this song, and I really liked the guitar. It was definitely on the heavier side and mixed well with the melody here. So number 3, number 2, and number 1. It was interesting for me on how I was going to rank these two because I really thought that they both had a lot of good pieces to them. But I'm going to go number 47 as 2, and then just edging it out because I just really enjoyed the guitar in a lot of different ways on this one, both the higher pitched version and the chugging along part that kind of got into the middle of the song, the heart of the song. Don't Let Her Pull You Down. That was my number 1. That was the song I thought was the best, and that's what pulled me in the most. So that's my top 3,
It's the midleys, I'm telling you.
probably.
That's what brings you in.
The Midleys. So Punk Rock Moms were all in the first half. Chris's were mostly in the first half, except for Such a Mess. This one was not that hard. They're probably going to be in the first half. And yeah, it was pretty easy. Number 3 is the Bucky's Blues, the Truck Stop Blues for sure. And number 2 is Don't Let Her Pull You Down. Number 1 is Listen to Your Friends. That song is a fucking banger for sure. So at least we had the same 2 and
There you
1
go.
with a different number 3, all in the first 5 songs of the album. So album top heavy. Point Wingman Steve agreed. Everyone around.
Yeah. For sure.
Wow, that was super easy. I thought for sure this was going to be a little bit tougher than that, but you guys basically just did it.
Just breezed right through it. It was
Would
easy.
you
It's
say
a good
this-
album.
Listen to
This
my
was
friends.
the easiest ranking that you've ever done in your whole life.
I wouldn't
don't
go
know.
that far.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy, but it was pretty easy. And I guess an easy question for me, and we'll see if it's an easy question for you guys.
Can I ask you that question? Can I ask you a question real quick?
While I'm talking about something else? Yes, go
So
ahead.
I think from
Sure.
a timing. It's
Yes.
an important question.
Oh, yeah.
How does it feel to be such a downer?
I'm not a downer. I'm not a Debbie Downer.
That's my question.
I'm a fan of Newfound
I
Glory.
just wanted to ask
that's
the
for
question.
sure.
That's on no
But
follow up. Just a question.
I was going to say before I was interrupted I was going to say, what do we think about Not Without a Fight compared to everything else, right? And my answer, which I will give, which is very short, is this album as a whole is not super strong, but it's got a handful of really good bangers. So it's a mid tier. I wouldn't put it at the bottom. Chad, listening to this, I wouldn't put it at the bottom, but I would definitely put it in the middle bottom, somewhere around there. But I'll let you guys sound off on what your thoughts are for sure. Chris?
I think it's probably way more interesting to hear from Punk Rock Mom on this because I'm only going to judge it off of what we've heard so far in Newfound November. So go ahead, Punk Rock Mom. Let us know how this one stacks up.
I think I would put this one middle high, when it comes to the Newfound Glory albums. I don't know. To me, it sounds like a pretty typical Newfound Glory album, but like a little bit elevated, almost like, I don't know, like they just kind of took it up a notch, I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, I would say it would probably be the 4th or 5th if I had to rank all the albums on there. Like I said, I came back to it later, and was just so surprised at how good it was. I think it's got some couple of really, really great songs, but I think as a whole, the albums, I can sit down and listen to this front to back. There's very few albums where I'm not going to be skipping, and this is kind of one of them.
What have we listened to so far, Steve? What are the albums?
Well, this month we've done Nothing Gold Can Stay, which is that first, kind of raw sounding one, rawer sounding one. And we did Sticks and Stones, which is the super
Classic.
popular one. And then we've also discussed, maybe it was a Drive Through Summer. So it's probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Oh, forget about that. No, I'm just talking about this. This exercise. Yeah. So I think that when you take a look at the 3 albums, like Nothing Gold Can Stay that album is good for if I have a wobbly table, to fix that wobble in the table by putting the album in that little gap at the bottom so it stops wobbling. Sticks and Stones is a decent album to have on my shelf. It'll collect dust for sure, but just to have there for fun. This one, I get into. I would listen to this. This would be in my CD visor for sure. It wouldn't be the entire album. There would be skips for sure, but it would be in my visor to listen to. Now it might get scratched up. It might get ruined. It might not, because it's definitely not going to get as many plays as other albums of that time frame, but it will get plays. So this is the best one so far.
Newfound November has been a success. If we've moved Chris's newfound meter a little bit to the positive side, which it seems we have. So high five, Punk Rock Mom. Even though it's not my favorite album, you like it. Chris liked it. That is a win.
Honestly, it's one of the reasons why I picked it. I was trying to find something that I thought he could find something to like, because I'm trying to move him over to this side, and I'm going to definitely call this a victory.
You
I'm
did.
so happy.
And we didn't listen to this one before, right? This is not necessarily one that we focused on prior to, was it?
We've never. No, I mean, no, we've never really spotlighted it. No, we did the one Newfound Glory episode where we talked about all the albums. That was episode 5. And we're on episode 254. So long time ago, you may have listened to it, but I don't know how in depth we, listen to each album when we're talking about the whole shebang.
I was like 27 years old when we talked about this, basically.
Yeah. I'd only called you 46 times at that point.
Long time ago. But yeah, when you do these album spotlights, it's a little bit easier. When you do the entire discography, it's hard to really dig into the specific songs. So I definitely have no recollection of this one from before, but I am glad we did this today because, again, clean slate. I'm open to good music. And if it sounds good to me, I'll say so. So even though there's those people out there that think I'm just going to always have a predisposition against this band, that's not the case. So now when you hear me say something that I don't like, you know that it's for real, because I'll say if I do like it for sure. And I did here. So thank you guys. Thank you, Punk Rock Mom. This was a great pick.
Fantastic.
Yes, you're so welcome. And I'm a believer in your clean slate now.
Well, I hope you are, and hopefully everybody out there is too. We really hope you've been enjoying our newfound November. I want to call it a series, not a mini series, because this is a whole month. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this so far. We have several more episodes for you.
One.
We're not going to. Oh, really? That's it? Okay. Well,
there's
just
only
a couple more.
4 Thursdays.
Is that it? I thought there were 5.
Nope, not this month.
Oh, geez. Well, anyway, all good things must come to an end
eventually. We could extend it. Should we?
No, December.
December?
It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like you got to move on to something else. So, yes, okay, I'm wrong. We don't have too many more. So, definitely don't want to miss the last episode or last few. It's just one more, I think. But, guys, again, we just want to make sure that you're enjoying this. So, the best way for you to tell us that is to let us know. Let us know through Apple Podcasts. If you have that, if you have an Apple, a lot of people have iPhones. Go onto your iPhone, go into podcasts, give us a written review. Let us know what you think. And if you really enjoy the show, give us a 5-star review. It helps the show. It makes us feel good. And it puts us up there with the upper echelon of pop punk podcasts. And speaking of supporting the show, even though I didn't say that, but I'm going to say it now, we have some awesome swag. The holidays are on their way. You can buy that friend or family member of yours a brand new High School Never Ends mug. Support the show. Maybe turn them on to the show. Let them listen to the part about Ritz crackers, and they can be the judge on what they think.
That was a great little segment. I loved it. Yeah, we're on the socials at HSNEPod, like High School Never Ends Pod. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and join our Discord server. You can get that link at hsnepod.com. Lots of good chatter. Punk Rock Mom is in there, always chatting away, talking about Newfound Glory. And we have a brand new Patreon. So if you want to support our show, go to patreon.com/hsnepod. There's a couple of different tiers, and you get a bunch of awesome bonus stuff, some shout outs, and extra episodes. So check that out. We hope that you enjoy it. There's one more Newfound November left, and then something else for December. If you subscribe to Patreon, you'll find out what it is early. We'll be back next week with another New episode. Till then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. If you're enjoying this show, check out dragonwagonshop.com and get yourself some sweet merch while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. That's dragonwagonshop.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.